The Meridian ships appeared like shards of crystalline twilight against Earth's atmosphere, their hulls refracting sunlight in ways that defied conventional physics. Dr. Sarah Chen watched from her underground laboratory as global news networks broadcast humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. Her lips curved into a slight smile, not because of the spectacle above, but because of what hummed quietly behind her, hidden 2 kilometers beneath the Antarctic ice. The quantum core pulsed with a soft blue light, its experimental matrices maintaining perfect stability, even as the alien ships triggered every sensor array on the planet. 10 years of secret development, funded by a coalition of nations that officially didn't speak to each other, had led to this moment. While the world above marveled at the Meridian Alliance's apparent technological superiority, humanity's true capabilities remained carefully hidden from prying eyes. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, her assistant, Dr. Marcus Wong, reported from his monitoring station. The translation matrices are already processing their language patterns. Interesting. They're using a form of quantum entanglement for communication. Sarah nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the data streams flowing across her holographic display. Let them show us their technology. Every transmission, every energy signature, every quantum fluctuation, it all feeds into our understanding. The Meridian Alliance had arrived with 12 ships, each one larger than anything humanity had ever constructed in space. Their leader, Supreme Commander Vexterra, appeared on screens worldwide, a towering figure composed of shifting crystalline segments that sparkled with internal light. Her translated voice carried both authority and what seemed like benevolent amusement. "People of Earth," the alien leader announced, "we come in peace, seeking diplomatic relations with your emerging civilization. The Meridian Alliance welcomes peaceful contact with developing species." In orbit, the International Space Station's crude chemical rockets and outdated solar panels seemed primitive compared to the Meridian vessels. That was exactly as intended. For the past decade, every launch, every satellite, and every piece of space debris had been carefully choreographed to present an image of a species just beginning to reach for the stars. Deep beneath the Pakistani mountains, Chinese deserts, and Brazilian rainforests, similar quantum cores hummed in perfect synchronization with Sarah's facility, a hidden network of humanity's true technological achievement, waiting for the moment they would be needed. The deception had begun long before the Meridians arrived. Earth's governments had anticipated first contact and prepared accordingly. "They're beginning their sensor suites," Marcus reported, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. "Their quantum scanning technology is impressive, but," he smiled, "they're not seeing through our camouflage. The background radiation masking is holding." Sarah moved to another console, reviewing the incoming data. The Meridian scans were revealing more about their own technology than they were discovering about Earth's secrets. Every probe, every analysis, every attempt to understand humanity's capabilities was being carefully fed into quantum computers that processed the information in ways the aliens couldn't detect. "Director Chen," a new voice called. General Zheng's hologram materialized in the command center, his weathered face showing both concern and determination. "The Security Council is meeting. The Meridians are requesting permission to establish a permanent diplomatic presence on Earth. What have you learned?" Sarah straightened, pulling up a comprehensive analysis. "Their technology is advanced, but not incomprehensible. The quantum principles they're using, we've already theorized most of them. More importantly," she highlighted several data points, "they're not looking for what we actually have. They're scanning for conventional power signatures, radiation patterns, artificial gravity fields. Our quantum masking makes our real technology invisible to their sensors." The general nodded slowly. "And their capabilities? Impressive but predictable. Their ships use quantum-locked crystalline matrices for both structure and computation. Efficient, but rigid in their operating patterns. They've clearly been the dominant species in their region of space for too long. They've lost the drive to innovate." Above, the Meridian ships settled into high orbit, their presence both magnificent and intimidating to the general population. Earth's governments played their roles perfectly, showing appropriate awe while engaging in careful diplomatic discussions. Meanwhile, hidden quantum sensors analyzed every aspect of the alien vessels, building a comprehensive understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. In her laboratory, Sarah initiated another series of tests on the quantum core. The alien presence had provided an unexpected opportunity to gather real-world data on advanced quantum technologies. Every minute of observation improved their own systems, refined their theories, and strengthened their capabilities. "They're requesting a tour of our major scientific facilities," Marcus reported, a hint of amusement in his voice. "They want to assess our technological development level." Sarah allowed herself another small smile. "Then we should prepare an appropriate demonstration. Something suitably primitive. Perhaps we could show them our cutting-edge fusion research program." The deception would continue. Earth would play the role of an emerging civilization, eager to learn from their advanced visitors. The Meridians would see exactly what humanity wanted them to see: carefully crafted illusions of a species still struggling with basic spaceflight and energy generation. But beneath the surface, in hidden facilities around the globe, humanity's true power continued to grow. The quantum cores pulsed in perfect harmony, their capabilities expanding with each new piece of data gathered from the unsuspecting aliens above. Earth had learned long ago that survival sometimes meant appearing weak while harboring hidden strength. The game had begun. The Meridians thought they were uplifting a primitive species. They would learn, in time, that humanity's greatest weapon was not technology, but patience. And when the moment came to reveal their true capabilities, the aliens would understand why humans had survived countless near-extinction events on their harsh homeworld. The awakening of humanity's power would shake the foundations of the galaxy. But for now, Sarah Chen watched the alien ships through conventional telescopes, played her role as an eager scientist learning from advanced visitors, and waited for the perfect moment to turn the tables. 3 months after first contact, Captain James Rivera stood in the command center of the Hyperion, Earth's first quantum-powered battleship, hidden within a pocket of folded space beneath the lunar surface. The vessel's crystalline displays showed real-time feeds from the Meridian Alliance's growing presence in Earth orbit. What had started as 12 diplomatic ships had expanded to a fleet of 30. Each new arrival explained away as cultural exchange vessels or scientific expedition support. "They're getting bolder," his executive officer, Commander Diana Patul, observed. Her fingers traced patterns through the holographic tactical display, highlighting the Meridian ship's positioning. "Their formation isn't diplomatic anymore. It's tactical. They're establishing firing solutions on major population centers while pretending to conduct atmospheric studies." James nodded, his expression grim. The Hyperion wasn't alone in its hidden lunar dock. 11 other quantum ships waited in similar pocket spaces, their crews training in perfect secrecy, while the world above maintained its charade of technological inferiority. Each vessel represented a perfect fusion of Dr. Chen's quantum technology and humanity's martial innovation. In her Antarctic facility, Sarah Chen reviewed the latest data from their quantum surveillance network. The Meridian's true nature was becoming clearer with each passing day. Their seemingly benevolent guidance masked a pattern of systematic resource exploitation that their quantum computers had detected across multiple star systems. "They're following their standard colonization protocol," Marcus reported, bringing up comparative analyses from intercepted Meridian communications. "First, establish a presence under the guise of diplomatic relations. Then, gradually position military assets while assessing the target world's resource deposits. Finally, when their forces achieve optimal positioning." He let the implications hang in the air. Sarah's quantum cores had already detected the Meridian survey drones mapping Earth's mineral deposits, paying particular attention to rare Earth elements and fissionable materials. Their visitors' interest in humanity's primitive nuclear power plants wasn't scientific curiosity. They were assessing potential resource extraction sites, Latest intelligence from the quantum network, General Zhang's hologram announced, materializing in the command center. The Meridians are accelerating their timeline. Supreme Commander Vexterra has requested an emergency session with the UN Security Council tomorrow. Our analysts predict they'll drop their peaceful pretense within the week. The general's prediction proved accurate. The next day, Vexterra stood before the world's leaders, her crystalline form radiating an authority that had cowed countless other species. The Meridian Alliance has determined that Earth's development must be accelerated. For your own protection and advancement, we will be establishing direct administrative control over your key industrial and resource production facilities. The human diplomats play their roles perfectly, expressing shock and protest, while appearing ultimately helpless before the Meridian's technological superiority. Meanwhile, deep beneath the Antarctic ice, Sarah Chen initiated the final phase of humanity's preparation. Quantum core synchronization at 100%. She reported through the secure network. All hidden facilities are ready. Captain Rivera. Status of the fleet. In lunar orbit, James allowed himself a small smile. All ships report ready, Doctor. Crews are synchronized with their quantum navigation systems. The moment the Meridians make their move, we can deploy through quantum space and emerge anywhere in the solar system. The Hyperion's advanced sensors painted a clear picture of the Meridian's fleet positioning. Their visitors had abandoned subtlety, moving their ships into clear attack formations while still maintaining the pretense of peaceful observation. They expected no meaningful resistance from a species that appeared to be struggling with basic spaceflight. What they couldn't see was the quantum web humanity had woven throughout the solar system. Every piece of space debris, every defunct satellite, every seemingly random piece of space junk was actually part of an elaborate sensor and defense network. The Meridians had spent months showing humanity their technology, never realizing they were actually training Earth's quantum systems to counter their every capability. New contact, Commander Patul reported suddenly. 5 more Meridian capital ships just emerged from faster-than-light travel at the system's edge. They're carrying ground invasion forces. James studied the tactical display, watching as the new arrivals moved to support positions around Earth. The Meridians were positioning themselves for what they thought would be a swift and bloodless conquest of a primitive world. Their confidence would be their undoing. In her facility, Sarah activated the quantum communication network, connecting all of Earth's hidden command centers. All systems are go. The quantum cores are operating at peak efficiency. The moment they launch their invasion, we'll be ready to show them humanity's true face. The Meridians had spent months studying what they thought was human technology. They had analyzed Earth's primitive rockets, examined their basic satellites, and dismissed humanity's military capabilities as insignificant. What they hadn't realized was that they had been the ones under study the entire time. Every scan they had performed, every demonstration of their superior technology, every casual display of their capabilities had been carefully analyzed by quantum computers that operated outside normal space-time. Earth's hidden fleet wasn't just ready to fight the Meridians. It was specifically designed to counter their every advantage. They're moving their ground forces into position, Marcus reported from the Antarctic facility. Quantum analysis suggests they'll begin their operation within 24 hours. Sarah nodded, her expression determined. Then it's time to spring the trap. General Zhang, notify all commands. Operation Quantum Dawn is now active. Let's show our visitors why humanity has survived everything our harsh world has thrown at us. The pieces were in place. While the Meridians prepared to conquer what they thought was a primitive species, humanity's true power waited in the quantum shadows, ready to teach them a lesson about underestimating Earth's children. The awakening of humanity's strength would shake the foundations of galactic society, and it would begin with a simple truth. Sometimes the most dangerous predator is the one that appears to be prey. The Meridian invasion began at dawn. Their crystalline ships descended through Earth's atmosphere in perfect formation, energy weapons charged and ready to suppress any primitive resistance. Supreme Commander Vexterra washed from her flagship, her crystalline form pulsing with satisfaction as she observed the panicked reactions of Earth's conventional military forces. "Launch the first wave," she commanded, her voice resonating through the neural network that connected all Meridian ships. "Secure their major power generation facilities and resource extraction sites. Remember, minimal casualties. We need their workforce intact." In her Antarctic facility, Dr. Sarah Chen watched the invasion unfold on quantum-enhanced displays. The Meridian ships were moving exactly as their simulations had predicted, following tactical patterns they had observed in countless other conquests. Everything was proceeding according to plan. "All quantum cores are synchronized," Marcus reported, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. "The defense grid is ready, Captain Rivera." Status of the fleet. Deep within the lunar quantum pocket, James Rivera stood on the Hyperion's bridge, watching his tactical displays with predatory focus. "All ships report ready. Quantum navigation systems are locked on target. We're just waiting for them to cross the threshold." The Meridian's first wave of ships descended toward major cities, their sensors detecting only primitive radar systems and ineffective missile defenses. What they couldn't see was the quantum web that had been woven through Earth's atmosphere, each seemingly random particle of space debris actually part of an elaborate trap. "They've crossed the primary engagement line," Commander Patil announced on the Hyperion's bridge. "All ships report optimal firing solutions. Quantum targeting matrices are locked." Sarah's voice came through the secure channel. "Execute Operation Quantum Dawn. Show them what humanity can really do." The trap was sprung with devastating precision. The quantum web activated, creating a cascading field of distorted space-time that immediately disrupted the Meridian's sophisticated navigation systems. Their ships, suddenly blind and disoriented, struggled to maintain formation as reality itself seemed to twist around them. "What's happening?" Vexterra demanded as her flagship's sensors reported impossible readings. "These energy signatures, they can't be coming from human technology." Her answer came in the form of quantum ruptures appearing throughout her fleet's formation. Earth's hidden ships emerged from folded space, their hulls rippling with energy fields that defied conventional physics. The Hyperion led the charge, its quantum-powered weapons targeting the Meridian's supposedly impenetrable shields with perfect precision. "How is this possible?" a Meridian sensor operator cried, their crystalline form clouding with confusion. "Their weapons, they're bypassing our shields as if they don't exist." In the Antarctic facility, Sarah allowed herself a grim smile as she monitored the battle through quantum sensors. "They spent months showing us their technology, never realizing we were learning how to counter every aspect of it. Their shields operate on a quantum frequency we mapped months ago." The space around Earth erupted in a display of advanced warfare, unlike anything the Meridians had ever encountered. Human ships phased through solid matter, appeared inside enemy formations, and struck with weapons that altered the fundamental forces holding matter together. Each tactic had been specifically designed to counter Meridian technology, using their own overconfidence against them. Status report. Vexterra demanded as another of her ships disappeared into a quantum singularity. "We've lost a third of the fleet," her tactical officer responded, their crystalline form dulled with shock. "Their weapons, they're not just advanced, they're specifically designed to counter our defenses. Every adaptation we make, they seem to have already anticipated." On the Hyperion's bridge, James directed the battle with cold efficiency. His crew worked in perfect synchronization with their ship's quantum systems, their neural interfaces allowing them to process combat data at speeds that matched the Meridian's crystalline computing networks. "Second wave of enemy ships approaching from high orbit," Commander Patil reported. "They're attempting to establish a blocking formation." James nodded. "Deploy quantum mines. Let's show them why appearing weak while harboring strength has been humanity's survival strategy for millennia." The space around the approaching Meridian reinforcements erupted with quantum distortions as hidden weapons platforms activated. Each one had been disguised as space debris, waiting patiently for this moment. The alien ships found themselves trapped in a web of spatial distortions that turned their own momentum against them. In her facility, Sarah monitored the quantum cores as they coordinated the entire defense network. Years of preparation were paying off as humanity's hidden capabilities were finally revealed. The Meridians had expected to find a primitive species struggling with basic spaceflight. Instead, they had walked into a trap laid by a civilization that had learned to hide its true nature. Their fleet is in disarray, Marcus reported, studying the tactical feeds. The quantum field is preventing them from coordinating their responses. Their hierarchical command structure is working against them. They can't adapt fast enough to our attacks. Vexterra watched in horror as her invasion force was systematically dismantled by an enemy she had gravely underestimated. The humans weren't just fighting back. They were rewriting the rules of space combat itself. Every tactic, every technology, every strategy the Meridians had relied on for centuries was being turned against them by an opponent that had spent months studying their every weakness. "Supreme Commander," her communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the human fleet." James Rivera's hologram materialized on the Meridian flagship's bridge, his expression calm but resolute. "Supreme Commander Vexterra, the Earth Defense Force suggests you reconsider your invasion plans. Perhaps we should discuss more equitable terms for future relations between our species." The quantum cores pulsed with victory as humanity's true power was finally revealed. The silent predator had shown its teeth, and the galaxy would never be the same. News of the Meridian defeat spread through quantum space faster than light itself. Supreme Commander Vexterra stood before the Alliance High Council, her crystalline form dulled with the shame of failure as she explained how a supposedly primitive species had systematically dismantled her invasion fleet. "Impossible." High Counselor Zarix's crystalline structure flashed with patterns of rage. "You claim these humans not only developed quantum technology in secret, but specifically engineered it to counter our most advanced systems." In Earth orbit, the remains of the Meridian invasion fleet hung motionless, caught in quantum stasis fields while human ships maintained a defensive perimeter around the planet. The Hyperion's quantum sensors detected massive energy signatures as more Alliance vessels emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. "They're mobilizing their entire central fleet," Commander Paddle reported from her station on the Hyperion's bridge. Long-range quantum scans show over 200 capital ships preparing for FTL transit to Earth. Captain Rivera studied the tactical displays with calm focus. "They still think numbers will save them." Dr. Chen, status of Phase 2. In the Antarctic facility, Sarah Chen stood before a new quantum core array that dwarfed her original prototype. Phase 2 is ahead of schedule. The data we gathered from the first engagement has allowed us to refine our quantum manipulation capabilities beyond our initial projections. The advancing Meridian Armada represented the greatest concentration of military power the Alliance had ever assembled. High Counselor Zarix personally took command, determined to crush this upstart species that had dared to challenge Meridian supremacy. "All ships, prepare for quantum jump," Zarix commanded. "We will show these humans the true might of the Meridian Alliance." But even as the Alliance gathered its forces, humanity's hidden strength continued to grow. The quantum cores beneath Earth's surface pulsed with new power as Sarah's team implemented improvements based on their analysis of Meridian technology. "They still haven't realized what they're really facing," Marcus observed, monitoring the quantum feeds. "Every ship they send gives us more data to refine our systems. Their own technology is teaching us how to defeat them." James Rivera's voice came through the secure quantum channel. "Doctor, the Alliance fleet will be in range within 6 hours. Will the new systems be ready?" Sarah allowed herself a small smile as she watched the quantum calculations stream across her displays. "They'll be ready, Captain." The Meridians thought they were coming to punish an upstart species. Instead, they're about to witness the next evolution of quantum warfare. The Alliance fleet emerged from FTL in perfect attack formation, their ships arranged in a three-dimensional pattern that had broken the defenses of countless civilizations. High Counselor Zarek stood on his flagship's command deck, watching with satisfaction as his armada prepared to engage. "Deploy the quantum disruptors," he commanded. "Let's see how these humans fare against technology they couldn't possibly have encountered before." But as the Alliance ships charged their new weapons, something unprecedented happened. The very fabric of space-time around their fleet began to shift and twist. The quantum disruptors, designed to tear apart enemy vessels at the subatomic level, suddenly found their energy redirected through higher dimensions. "Impossible," Zarek's tactical officer cried. "They're not just blocking our quantum attacks, they're absorbing them, learning from them in real time." On the Hyperion's bridge, James watched as humanity's new quantum defense network proved its worth. Dr. Chen's theories were correct. Their technology is advanced, but it's predictable. They've been the dominant power for so long, they'd forgotten how to innovate. The battle that followed would be studied by military historians for centuries to come. The Alliance fleet, despite its overwhelming numbers, found itself caught in a web of quantum manipulations that turned their own power against them. Human ships seemed to appear from impossible angles, striking with weapons that evolved and adapted with each engagement. "Their tactical doctrine is falling apart," Commander Puddle reported with professional satisfaction. "They're so used to overwhelming force that they don't know how to handle an enemy that fights smarter rather than harder." In her facility, Sarah monitored the quantum feeds as her systems processed combat data in real time. The Alliance built their empire on technological superiority, never realizing that true advancement comes from necessity and innovation. "We survived on a harsh world that tried to kill us countless times. We learned to adapt, to think differently, to turn weakness into strength." High Counselor Zarek watched in growing horror as his mighty armada was systematically dismantled by an enemy that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at once. Human ships phased through his fleet's formations, their quantum weapons bypassing shields and armor as if they didn't exist. "How?" he demanded as another squadron of his ships disappeared into quantum singularities. "How did they develop this level of technology in secret?" The answer came in the form of a quantum transmission that bypassed all Alliance security protocols. Dr. Sarah Chen's hologram appeared on every Meridian ship's command deck simultaneously, her expression calm but resolute. "You showed us your technology thinking we could never understand it," she explained. "You demonstrated your power believing we could never match it. But humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to learn, to adapt, and to turn apparent weakness into ultimate victory." As if to emphasize her point, the quantum cores beneath Earth's surface pulsed with new energy, creating a cascading wave of spatial distortions that trapped the entire Alliance fleet in a web of altered reality. Their ships, for all their power, found themselves unable to move or fight back. The message was clear. Humanity wasn't just defending itself. It was announcing its arrival as a power that could no longer be ignored. The galaxy was about to change, and the Meridian Alliance would have to adapt or face obsolescence. The vast chamber of the Meridian High Council fell silent as Dr. Sarah Chen's hologram stood before them, her presence a stark reminder of how thoroughly they had underestimated humanity. The entire Alliance fleet remained frozen in quantum stasis around Earth, their most powerful weapons rendered useless by technology they had dismissed as impossible. "Your empire spans 500 worlds," Sarah stated, her voice carrying through quantum channels that bypassed all Alliance security. "You've conquered countless species, always following the same pattern. Appear overwhelming, offer false friendship, then take what you want. But you never considered what might happen when you encountered a species that learned to turn deception against you." High Counselor Zarek's crystalline form flickered with complex patterns of emotion. "If you possess such power, why hide it? Why maintain the illusion of weakness?" Captain James Rivera's hologram materialized beside Sarah's, his military bearing a sharp contrast to her scientific demeanor. Because humanity learned long ago that survival sometimes means appearing harmless until the perfect moment to strike. We spent centuries fighting each other, developing strategies that went beyond mere technological superiority. In Earth orbit, the Hyperion maintained its position at the center of the quantum defense grid. Commander Patel monitored the tactical displays as they showed Alliance reinforcements arriving at the edge of the solar system, only to find themselves unable to approach Earth through the quantum distortion field that now encompassed the entire region. "They're still trying to break through," she reported. "Their ships are attempting to find patterns in our quantum field modulation." James allowed himself a small smile. "Let them try. Dr. Chen's systems are evolving faster than they can analyze them. The more they probe, the more we learn about their technology." In the Antarctic facility, Marcus watched as the quantum cores processed combat data in real time, each attempted breach by the Alliance ships adding to their understanding. "It's remarkable," he observed. "They'd been the dominant power for so long, they'd forgotten how to think creatively. Every solution they try follows the same logical patterns." Sarah turned her attention back to the High Council. "We could destroy your fleet. Our quantum weapons could tear your ships apart at the subatomic level. But humanity has evolved beyond the need for such brutal displays of power." "What do you want?" Zar-X demanded, his crystalline structure dulled with the realization of his empire's vulnerability. "Partnership," Sarah replied, surprising the assembled council members. "Real partnership, not the false friendship you've offered to other species. Humanity doesn't want to conquer or destroy. We want to innovate, to explore, to push the boundaries of what's possible." The quantum cores pulsed with new energy as Sarah interfaced with them directly through her neural link. Holographic displays materialized around the council chamber, showing technological concepts that made even the most advanced Meridian scientists pause in wonder. "These are just a few of the theoretical applications we've developed for quantum technology," she explained. "But they're only the beginning. Imagine what we could achieve together if we stopped treating the galaxy as a resource to be conquered and started seeing it as a frontier to be explored." James stepped forward, his hologram addressing the military commanders in the chamber. "Your empire has grown complacent, relying on technological superiority rather than tactical innovation. We can help you evolve beyond that limitation, but only if you're willing to change." In orbit, Commander Patel reported a subtle shift in the Alliance ships' energy signatures. "They're powering down their weapons, Captain. All hostile targeting solutions have been discontinued." The High Council chamber erupted in debate, crystalline forms flickering with complex patterns of argument and consideration. Finally, High Councilor Zar-X raised his hand for silence. "For 10,000 years, the Meridian Alliance has stood unopposed," he declared. "We believe our technology made us invincible, our methods infallible. Today, we have been shown otherwise." He turned to face the human holograms. Perhaps it is time for the Alliance to remember what it means to learn, rather than simply dominate." Sarah nodded, a genuine smile crossing her face. "The quantum stasis field around your fleet will be deactivated momentarily. Consider this the first step toward a new era of cooperation." As the energy field dissipated, Alliance ships found themselves free to move again, their crews watching in amazement as human vessels approached in peaceful formation. The Hyperion took position alongside the Meridian flagship, a symbolic gesture of the change taking place. "Send word throughout Alliance space," Zar-X commanded. "The era of conquest is over. We have encountered a species that has shown us a better path, not through force, but through innovation and adaptation." In her facility, Sarah watched as the quantum cores adjusted to their new role, shifting from weapons of war to tools of exploration and discovery. "Humanity spent centuries dreaming of reaching the stars," she mused. "Now we have the chance to help shape the future of galactic civilization." Marcus studied the incoming data streams, already seeing patterns of cooperation forming between human and Meridian scientists. They're beginning to understand. It's not about who has the biggest ships or the most advanced weapons. It's about who can imagine the most amazing possibilities and find new ways to achieve them. The dawn of a new era had arrived. Humanity had proven that true strength lies not in overwhelming force, but in the ability to adapt, to innovate, and to turn apparent weakness into unexpected victory. As human and Meridian ships began joint maneuvers in Earth orbit, the galaxy watched and wondered what this unusual partnership would bring. In the quantum shadows where humanity had hidden its true power, new possibilities were already taking shape. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, beckoning two formerly opposed civilizations toward a future filled with unlimited potential. The silent predator had revealed itself not as a conqueror, but as a teacher. And in doing so, humanity had changed the course of galactic history forever.